الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد حدثنا هارون بن إسحاق الهمداني حدثنا عبدة بن سليمان عن هشام بن عروة عن ابن لكعب بن مالك رضي الله تعالى عنه عن أبيه قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يأكل بأصابعه الثلاث ويلأقهن. One of the son of Ka'ab ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that Ka'ab ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to eat by his 3 fingers, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to lick them, used to clean them after eating. Hadith Sharif is being narrated by Ka'ab ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam like Ka'ab ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu for 50 days or so, when they did not participate into the battle of Tabuk. Murara ibn Rabi, Hilal ibn Umayyah, and Ka'ab ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, if I am recalling the correct names. They did not participate into the battle of Tabuk, and when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam returned from the Tabuk, everybody went, and whatever excuse they used to make, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to accept it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us some foresight of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some share. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding of all his sunnats and obedience. He used to accept everybody's excuse. Ka'ab ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam after he returned to Medina Munawwara from the battle of Tabuk, he said that I have such a vocabulary, I am such a spokesperson. That's what we can conclude. I have such a convincing power, speech-wise, that if I was sitting in front of anybody else, I talk such that successfully I would have convinced what I want to convince. But I am sitting in front of Sayyidul Awwaleen wal Akhirin. I am not going to lie. I am not going to make or fabricate. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. We act more than we present fact. We are actors, not factors. And Sahaba, aqalluhum takallufan. They used to stay far from acting. They used to stay far. That's why, if sometime you see that crying, don't fall prey, because sometimes it's just acting. Making people happy that, oh, I am very pious. That's why, this ayat is very beloved. فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Najm that do not present yourself that I am very park, very clean, very righteous, very pious. He knows who is righteous. He knows who is righteous. May it happen that when we are dying, We remember this ayat and everything, Quran and Sunnah very well. فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. When you are on your high, that's when you address this address of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. Do not act like you are very pious. He knows who is very pious. If you remember, before Umrah, I used to say that, I feel like making whole tawaf on this ayat. فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. I remember, didn't do the whole tawaf, but at least one round. فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the reality of this ayat and every ayat. Risk of this ayat and every riwayat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the reality of every ayat and riwayat and risk of every ayat and riwayat to us and to our progeny till the day of Qiyamah. Sahaba, they used to stay far from acting. That's what he said. That if I was sitting in front of anybody else, I have such vocabulary, then, I start talking and you go on your buzz. It impresses you. That's the type of ability I have. And some of the ulama, they have written that whole media depends on this principle. That they use that type of approach, that type of language, that type of convincing power. Although reality is lie, but they speak such that listeners will believe in that more than anything else. The whole media depends on that. That's why if you are very attached to the media, then you are very attached to biggest lie of the world. Oh Allah, make us attached to only Quran and Sunnah. Nothing must impress us, O Allah, beside your Quran, and words of your Habib Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nothing must attract us. Nothing must pull us. That is the effect of the sohbat of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ka'b ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala says that if I was sitting in front of anybody else, I would have successfully convinced what I wanted to convince. But I'm not going to lie. Then he said to Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that, Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I was never able before how able I was at this time. I had everything. I had all means of traveling. I had everything. But Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I thought that because I have everything, I will catch up with you tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next week, following week. And that's how today and tomorrow, I remain at home and I didn't join you with no excuse. So everybody came. What your excuse? Hypocrites. They came. They had all excuses with lies. And that is what the order of our life now. We are hypocrites. Oh Allah, through your mercy, take us out from the hypocrisy. Oh Allah, take us out from the hypocrisy. Sometimes we don't even know that I am just following the path of hypocrisy. And I think I am very impressive personality. Astaghfirullah. May Allah protect us. May Allah protect us. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So everybody came, and whatever excuses they made, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam accepted. And here, Ka'b ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala, what I wanted to say, I'll come to conclude. I never had intention of sharing the story of Ka'b ibn Malik, but I just remember. Ka'b ibn Malik, when he said that I had no excuse, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, okay, you go away until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides about you. And if I am recalling correctly, it was 50 days. 50 days. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, gradual. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam started disciplining gradually. First, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that, okay, you go away from here. And then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to their wives that you also leave them until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide guidance about your situation. And because of this, Sahaba used to stay away from him. He had one of the very close friend, Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala. He said, everybody else when I'm making salam, the way, the Nabi Sallallahu had given guidelines that, you got to hold on. So that's what everybody was following, Sahaba. Even people, sometimes they will respond to his salam in a manner that he will feel that they are not responding. And, those days, 50 days for Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala, without any exaggeration, we can say it would have been a 50 millenniums. Oh Allah, give us love of Nabi Sallallahu like that. Love of Nabi Sallallahu like that. He used to approach and no one will respond. And, وَضَاقَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَرْضُ بِمَا رَحُبَتْ. Quran says that earth is so vast and big, but earth became narrow for them because of this type of punishment. He says one of the biggest friend, he used to be like very close friend. He said one day I jumped into his yard just to make salam. He also, he turned away from me. So it was like a big lightning on myself. That's what he says. And then he said, one of the Ghassani or some of the king wrote a letter that we came to know that your friend Rasulullah Sallallahu had abandoned you. You come down to our empire. We will give you, very, very high reception, very high position. We will welcome you. We will entertain you. We will keep you like a VIP, our next man. Like that, the summary of that. You know what he did? Imagine. We are hypocrites. Wallahi, we selling the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of these types of protocols and VIP life and financial and money life. We are selling the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What answer we will give it to Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala? He took that letter, he went to the fire and he burnt it. That how dare you think that because of your empire I am going to leave my Habib Sallallahu. All this, just the talk. Oh Allah, give us the reality from the noble qualities of Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala to us and to our progeny. Have that dignity of Islam and Quran and Sunnah. Such time is coming that people are going to leave Islam. They are going to hate Islam. They are going to hate Quran and Nabi Sallallahu. That type of preparation is being made. Oh Allah, protect us from that environment. Protect our progeny from that environment. Ka'b ibn Malik, what answer we will give it to him? He took it and he burnt it. He said, I go to masjid. In salat, he said, look at the love. He said, when I'm performing salat, their devotion, their dedication, their sincerity, no one can doubt it. But look at this love and muhabbat. He said, in salat, I try to look at Nabi Sallallahu. When I'm looking at Nabi Sallallahu intentionally will not pay any attention to me. And when his attention is somewhere else, that is when Nabi Sallallahu will look at him. So, punishment with love, even from Nabi Sallallahu. After 50 days, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted their repentance. وَعَلَى الثَّلَاثَةِ الَّذِينَ خُلِّفُوا حَتَّى إِذَا ضَاقَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ. Quran came, that now their tawbah became accepted. So I had said all this because of Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala. He is narrating this hadith sharif, and he said that Nabi Sallallahu used to eat with his 3 fingers and he used to leak them. And even muhaddisin, they have mentioned that Nabi Sallallahu will start leaking from the middle finger first, then this finger, and then the thumb. And they have written some of the wisdoms that because it starts from this is right side. So this is right first, then this right compared to thumb, and then at the end thumb. Another thing they have written that when you eating with these 3 fingers, this finger will become more, what you call, affected by the food. So that is why leaking that first. And something, here Maulana Zakaria Rahmatullah Alayhi have written one thing, and you know, some people they feel, you know, these type of etiquettes, like, you know, they feel where everybody is eating with fork and knife, then they will feel betrayed eating by hands. Or when everybody is eating together and society is such, if something falls down, then, you know, they throw it away, they bin it. So you follow their style. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us love of Nabi Sallallahu like Ka'b ibn Malik. You know, that sahabi who was sitting in a banquet of one of the emperors in his empire. They were sitting and eating. You know, like in our time, you are eating in Buckingham Palace, or you are eating in White House, or you are eating in a Camp David. You know, in America, when one of the leader, he is being called into White House, something very important. More important than that, you are being called into Camp David. So you are eating into the Camp David with the leaders of the whole world. Or United Nations Assembly is taking place, where all the head of the states together in Geneva, and that is where you are eating. And then you behave in this manner with total dignity, with total honor, with no pride, If there would have been pride, then this historical sentence would have not continued till today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us sincerity, like Sahaba. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us honor of following Sunnat like Sahaba. You know, they were sitting in one of the, like this, you know, some of the examples I gave of our time. He was sitting to eat there, and something from the morsel fell down. He picked it up to eat, and when he was eating, someone once said that, you know, you are in a different culture, you are in a different civilization, you are in a Roman Empire. The emperors are watching you. They take it very lowly. So you know what he said? أَأَتْرُكُ سُنَّةَ حَبِيبِي لِهَؤُلَاءِ الْحُمَقَاءِ For these fools, should I abandon sunnat of my Habib Sallallahu? He said that. Wallah, give us that type of honor. You know, Allah, give us that type of dignity. For every sunnat of Nabi Sallallahu, till we die, wherever we are, we don't feel dignity or honor anywhere else beside the umbrella of the sunnat of Nabi Sallallahu. Inshallah, we'll continue into this hadith sharif. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. يا أول الأولين يا آخر الآخرين يا راحم المساكين يا ذا القوة المتين يا ذا المن فلا يمن عليك يا ذا الطول يا ذا الجلال والإكرام لا إله إلا أنت زهر اللاجئين وجار المستجيرين ومأمن الخائفين يا مأمن الخائفين إن كنت كتبتنا عندك في أم الكتاب أشقياء فامحو عنا اسم الشقاء وإن كنت كتبتنا عندك في أم الكتاب مقطرا علينا رزاقنا فامحو تقطير رزقنا وحرمان رزقنا واكتبنا وأثبتنا عندك سعداء ووفقنا على الخير فإنك تقول في كتابك يمحو الله ما يشاء ويثبت وعنده أم الكتاب اللهم إنا نسألك فعل الخيرات وترك المنكرات وحب المساكين وأن تغفر لنا وترحمنا فإذا أردت بقوم فتنة فتوفنا غير مفتونين غير خزايا ولا ندامة ولا مفتونين اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها اللهم لا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا غاية رغبتنا اللهم إنك عفو رحيم كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا كريم يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك اللهم إن قلوبنا ونواصينا وجوارحنا بيدك لم تملكنا منها شيئا فإذا فعلت ذلك بنا فكن أنت ولينا واهدنا إلى سواء السبيل يا واجد الماجد لا تزل عنا نعمة قد أنعمت بها علينا या ज़ल जलाली वल इकराम, या मालिक यौमिद्दीन, इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन, रब्बना आतिना फिद दुनिया हसना व फिल आखिरति हसनतन व क़िना अज़ाबन नार, रब्बना तक़ब्बल मिन्ना इन्नका अंतस समीउल अलीम, व सल्लल्लाहु तआला अला खैरि खल्क़िही सय्यिदिना व हबीबिना मौलाना मुहम्मद व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि अजमईन बिरहमतिक।